My name is Michael Grassi and I'm part of the Rosebank alumni. I attended Rosebank College beginning in 2009, where I took part in the first co-ed Year 7 cohort. In 2014, I was school captain and completed my HSC year. 8 years later, I'm now working for Transport for New South Wales as a cybersecurity officer. A lot of my job is focused around analytics and reporting, with one of my biggest responsibilities being to ensure that all 30,000 odd staff here receive some level of cybersecurity training and awareness. Well, initially I was doing a Bachelor of Engineering, majoring in software at UTS. Unfortunately, about 3 years into that degree, they began to phase it out in favour of a newer version of the same degree, so I swapped into a Bachelor of Science in IT. Both degrees were very similar in that they were teaching me about how to design and maintain software for large enterprises. Apart from starting my degree at UTS, I worked casually at Australia Post in a retail position, and then I also worked in a call centre for the Co-op bookshop. This was just to earn some money on the side. I think it was a year and a half into my Bachelor of Engineering, I was actually required to do an internship to get experience. And fortunately, a software consultancy company named DS, took me on board for 6 months. There they taught me a lot about software engineering. Internships are definitely the best way to get work experience and to learn how to put your skills into practice. At the conclusion of my internship with DS, I went back to UTS studying, but I also was fortunate enough to get a role in level 2 IT support. So I was doing kind of IT help desk type work at UTS. At the end of 2018, I graduated from my Bachelor of Science in IT, and I was fortunate enough to actually receive a job offer from DS again. The boss of DS reached out to me and let me know that he had a role there for me, so I went back and promptly was contracted to Qantas. At Qantas, I was working on the Qantas Business Rewards platform, so that was very exciting. I learned a lot in 2019, but towards the end of 2019, I realised that software engineering wasn't really what I wanted to do for another 2 or 3 decades, and I had a bit of an identity crisis. So I was craving some new experiences, and I wanted to kind of reevaluate what I wanted from my professional life. So I was fortunate enough to get accepted into the New South Wales Government Public Service Commission graduate program, and essentially that program allows participants to do 3 6-month rotations in entirely different lines of work, which was exactly what I wanted. So my first rotation was actually with the Cybersecurity Transport for New South Wales team, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. My second rotation was with I think it was the Corporate Communications team at Sydney Trains, and there I was involved in a whole bunch of stuff. I was involved in doing the communications for the COVID task force. This was obviously back in 2020, which COVID was very new then, and so that was an exciting and dynamic time. I was also involved in planning a bunch of events and doing things like site visits and interviewing people and learning about their stories. So communication was something that I did a lot of. And my third rotation was with the Department of Premier and Cabinet, and in that role I was in a procurement officer and digital analyst type position. So I was involved in processing and organising 6-figure, 7-figure IT procurements. That was very exciting. Coming out of the graduate program, I worked as a vehicle telematics systems officer. So that team was responsible for the software that was used to track heavy vehicles around New South Wales and to see if they're doing anything illegal, such as driving on roads that can't tolerate their weight. And after that, my boss from the first place at my graduate program in cybersecurity invited me to come back and work for her team. So that's where I am now. Yes, I wish I tried more things in high school, and also earlier on in my career. Leaving high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but for some reason I decided to pursue software engineering, probably because I was good with computers, so I assumed it was my calling. I enjoyed the degree, but after I realised that it wasn't something I wanted to do long term, I was scared that I was locked in, and if I tried to change, my career would be set back dramatically. I bit the bullet, did it anyway. And what I found is you don't need to have it all figured out coming out of high school. You don't need to know what you'll do for the next 50 years. There are so many generalist post-high school and graduate programs that will rotate you through a number of roles so you can better decide exactly what kind of career you want. For example, I highly recommend you look into the Transport for New South Wales Cadet program. I think you apply in Year 12, and if you're successful, you get to experience working at Transport while studying at university. And Transport pays for your university studies if I think you maintain a credit grade average. That's a fantastic program. Another thing is, if you're interested in IT, I strongly recommend applying for the UTS's Bachelor of IT. It's a scholarships degree, like they pay for you to do the degree. And you also get to undertake internships with well-known multinational IT companies, so I highly recommend that as well. It's something I wish I took advantage of. There's 5 things I would go back in time to say to Year 10 me. 1. Try not to stress too much about the HSC. If you don't need prerequisites for the course you want to study, pick subjects that you're genuinely interested in and just do your best. See what doors open. There's a pathway for everything. 2. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Nobody knows everything. Trust that you have the ability to learn how to do something good enough when you need to do it. 3. You've probably heard the saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none. Well, the rest of that saying is a jack of all trades is a master of none, but often better than a master of one. Moral of the story is there's plenty of work out there for both generalists and specialists, but decision makers tend to be generalists. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a generalist. 4. Be your own advocate. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you want or need something, you have to ask for it. Ask politely but assertively, and the worst you can be told is no. 5. It doesn't matter if you want to be an accountant, an architect, or a scientist. Do the highest level of English you can stomach in high school, because communication and reading comprehension are 2 skills you will use every day for the rest of your life, and it will set you apart from your peers. I'm actually quite happy in my current job. I don't have any plans, at least not in the next kind of 6 months or so. But look, when the opportunities present themselves, I'll probably either pursue a data analytics position in cybersecurity, or I'll seek a leadership and strategy role, hopefully to get some management experience. But whatever it is, I'm excited to see. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and to all those Year 10 students out there and anyone else who might be watching, good luck with your futures. I wish you all the best. Thank you.